Hello, and welcome back to Film Posers for Boricuas ranting, raving, and reviewing cinema. Today, we are going to be talking about chaos walking, and our moderator is going to be Gabriela Burgos. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. So, we are going to be talking about Chaos Walking, a highly anticipated film in the book community that was anticipated like 5 years ago, but it came out right now. If you don't know, Chaos Walking is a film based on Patrick Ness' book, The Knife of Never Letting Go, and it is directed by Doug Liman, and the script was written by Patrick Ness and Christopher Ford. And it stars Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland, Damian Beecher, Cynthia Erivo, Nick Jonas, David Oyelowo, and Matt Michelson, my stalker, if you guys know. It is a sci-fi story, and it's about in the not so distant future, Todd Hewitt discovers Viola, a mysterious girl who crash lands on his planet where all the women have disappeared and the men are afflicted by the noise, which is like a force that basically exposes their thoughts so everyone can see what they are thinking. It is said that this noise, whatever it is what killed the women of the planet. And Todd obviously realizes that Viola's life is in danger, so he vows to protect her and he tries to discover the truth behind everything. You know, the typical YA story, because that's what this film is. It's just another YA adaptation. And the story behind it is that it started production in 2016, and the original script was written by Charlie Kaufman, which you guys know from I'm Thinking of Ending Things and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and apparently really bad. And it was rewritten, and finally the film went into production in 2017. But then the first test screenings, the audience reacted really poorly, so they had to reshoot this film in 2019 because Daisy Ridley was filming Star Wars. So it was refilmed in 2019, and then it was slated to be released in March of that year, and then it was delayed due to the reshoots, and then it was delayed again, and finally they said, you know what, we're releasing it in January 22, 2021. That's it. That's the final time we're moving this film. And then COVID happened. And they were like, well, we gotta move it again. And so it finally was released on March 5th, 2021. Now we have this movie, and the Chaos Walking Nation is very happy as they were when the trailer was released last year. So, you know, it's been a long journey for the Chaos Walking fans and fans of the books in general. So now that the movie is out, now that we have seen it, thank you, Lionsgate, for the screener. What are your thoughts, posers? And the first person I want to hear from is actually Juan.
Well, this hasn't been a walk to the silver screen. This has been a crawling to the silver screen. The film's distribution rights were acquired in 2011, and Gabriela said it. This is very much a YA film. And if this had come out in the mid 2010s like they had wanted to, I'm sure this could have been a hit. Unfortunately, this was not for me. Even though I like a good YA dystopian film, unfortunately, I do not find it, in my opinion, to be a good YA dystopian film. I think one of the main problems for me was the dialogue, because at times it felt very cringy, and the story at some point didn't feel like it knew where it wanted to go. There was just so much setup for a third act that was going to deliver, and it was going to go all out. And as an audience member, as someone who has been through the Hunger Games trilogy, the Maze Runner, I've gone through Harry Potter, Twilight. I was supposed to go through Mortal Instruments, but we know how that happened. And I felt very disappointed by this third act because there was no payoff. And that's what's upsetting. There was nothing saying I have to come back for a sequel. Um, and I just feel this story is a little too late because the YA fandom for dystopian films, as huge as this was for a Divergent or any of the type of films I mentioned before, the audience isn't really there right now to see the film. And especially on a movie that costs $100 million that is going to be hard to recuperate, it just feels too late for it to be a potential series. Now, it's not a completely bad film. I just feel this could have been a huge hit. Trigger warning, there is violence against animals in this film, which reduced my rating. I'm not gonna lie, I find that unsettling. After seeing that film, it felt hard to continue watching. I felt this was very disorganized. I feel also if you're not a fan of the book, as it was in my case, you can't get into it as much as you could if you were a fan of the book. I was really there for Tom Holland. And yeah, again, a very well assembled cast, an intriguing premise, good production design, and visuals. But with that being said, I feel this movie wastes what could have been a great concept as a trilogy on a very weak script. Like, the script kills it of or any chance for a potential audience to grow. And really, as Anna said to us when she had finished it lacked sabor, you know?
Anna.
So I feel that because the movie has been gone through a lot of reshoots and the script has gone through a lot of rewrites, it's a bit messy in a way. It lacked structure. It actually lacks a lot of substance, the film. The third act, it was really anticlimactic. I waited for more, you know? I wanted something more and they just didn't, there wasn't that payoff that I wanted. Yeah, a lot of people they wanted to see this film because Charlie Kaufman wrote it at first. I don't see it. I don't see it after a lot of rewrites. I definitely don't see it. Like Juan said, if this movie premiered like 5 years ago, this couldn't work because people were all on board with book adaptations. This movie definitely did not work for me, but I'm happy for the people that really loved the book that they got the adaptation. But I just feel that it was just very anticlimactic, just for nothing. It felt like a big prequel to something. It also is frustrating seeing such a big and great cast to not being used to its full potential. Like we got Matt, we got Tom Holland, we got Daisy Ridley, and they're just there. I don't see anything else. It's frustrating. This movie was frustrating to me.
I like the film. So it's not the best thing. I gave it 3 stars, but also for me, a 3-star rating is not bad. I think a 3-star rating is pretty good. It's average. Yeah, it's an average movie because of course it could have been better, but it could also have been a lot worse. I think they did very well with what they were given, what they could do, especially with all the setbacks that they had, and just to see the end product. I mean, again, it could have been less than what we got. And despite not being used to their full potential, I think the acting was actually pretty good within the film. Again, you are given a certain material. They used their full potential to give this film what they could give it. Matt Mikkelsen's coat, every time he walked in, it was like, sir. But other than that, again, I had fun. I think this is a fun film, and if you've been anticipating this film, you will probably have fun. If you like these actors, you will probably have fun. Does it have its flaws? Yes, it does, but I liked it. It was for me. It gave me YA realness. I'm here for it. I had fun, and those are my words.
Yeah, so the posers are equally divided on this film because I am on Josie's side. I was watching this film and I was just, these were the good times of YA. It brought me back to 2016 when we were just in the middle of all of these YA adaptations, and you would go to the theater and you would see people with the t-shirts and, you know, with the book with the movie poster on it. You know, those were the good times. I had fun with this film too. It has so many flaws. Like the script is just, that dialogue is, you know, it's bad. But it was so bad that I was laughing. Because Tom Holland's noise, he kept, every time he thought, he would be like, oh, pretty girl, pretty girl, pretty girls. And like, fun fact, like Tom Holland's character in the book, he's 13. So they aged him up in the movie. So of course, if you see that from the perspective, if you see like those thoughts coming from a 13-year-old boy, it makes more sense than from like what? He must be like almost 20 in the movie. So like most of that dialogue sounds a little bit childish, and it's because like in the book he is literally a child.
Okay, but also It's the first time he's seeing a girl. He has never seen another woman like when he was a baby. He's also the youngest of this place, which
Yeah.
also makes me think I wish we would have explored more. I'm forgetting the name of the place, but the place is
Town.
Fair Ranch.
Uh,
Fair Branch.
Fair Branch. Yeah.
Yeah, when they get to Fair Branch, I wish we would have learned more about Fair
Yeah.
Branch and all the other havens and all the other places. Because, of course, for the beginning, you think it's just Prentice Town, and that is what Todd Hewitt believes it to be. But then, of course, we find out more about this world and how they got there. Because it's not Earth, it's another planet that they colonized. So that's also an added factor into it, which I found very interesting. And there's also the aspect that what supposedly what killed off all these women were, I think they were called Spackle, I'm not sure, the other aliens. And that's why he hated that alien and he wanted to kill them, which we didn't find out who they were. So yeah, there are a lot of plot holes that I wish we would have explored this world a lot more. I definitely think it could have been longer. But again, I understood the dialogue just because of his circumstances growing up. I mean, he's the only boy surrounded by all these men, like toxic masculinity. Of course, he's gonna be like, pretty girl.
Yeah. But also, like, I agree with Anna because it does feel like a setup, and I just think that maybe back when they filmed it, they were so sure that they were going to be able to make all 3 movies from all 3 books. So they were just like, you know what, we're gonna leave it at that, and then obviously they will come back and make the second one. I doubt that's gonna happen. I think Tom Holland forgot he made that movie. Like I haven't, and Matt isn't even talking about it, so I think he also forgot. So
I mean, that was the joke, since it took them so long to make it, that a lot of people were like, Daisy and Tom are just pretending they never made this.
so
And who can blame them?
Hey, Matt was collecting that check, okay?
They all were. I just don't know if it lasted to 2021.
Those were our general reactions. Gabriela, what's yours?
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with the film. I remember, Juan being like, "This is horrible," and I'm just like, "This is fun. I'm liking it." Like, I never got bored. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Some things are predictable, but other things I didn't see coming. I didn't read the book, so I really didn't know. I don't know. It was kind of like entertained, and the visual effects I really liked, like the noise effects. I really liked how they looked. It looked pretty realistic. So in terms of like the production design and all of that, I really can't complain. It was actually really well done, especially the parts in space and all of that. They were really well done. And the acting, for what it was good. Matt Michelson is always great. I mentioned what bad performance of his. That's right, you can't. So, the cast did their best. Like, even David Oyelowo was a big surprise for me. He was so creepy in this movie, and I really liked his character too, even though he terrified me, and he did something horrible, but I don't know, he did a good job with that character and making me hate him. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, again, it's not by any means a masterpiece and like the best movie of the year. It's not, but it was fun. So I'll leave it at that. I had a fun time. It has its flaws, but I had fun. So
I thought it was believable.
yeah.
That's enough.
And in the comments, if you'd like to let us know which Tom Holland recent picture you'd like most. Did you like Chaos Walking more, or did you like Cherry?
Chirk.
I'm sorry, Chirk. Which you could also check out a review now that you're here on YouTube.
And that's all for this review. Thank you for listening to our thoughts on Chaos Walking. Please, if you would like, watch this movie, form your own opinion. We are just a few messengers, but we're not the messengers. So take a chance on this film if you want to. Watch it, form your own opinion, and let us know what you thought. Also, make sure to follow us at Film Posers on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know what to do. Also, like and subscribe, and follow our podcast wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And remember, we're all film posers. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.